My man, where are you? What is going on?
This is the crib, man. This is what we call the Taj Holloway.
The Taj Holloway, man, dude.
Hanging out in the house watching the game.
Quarter 2 national championship. We are joined by Robbie is back. We got Sam Jesse from formerly from the Locks Saturday, now holding down everything with the website. How you doing, Sam? Your first time on the stream?
Yeah, I've been here watching you guys, laughing along. Bill Roth was awesome. Bryce also doing great stuff with the golf tournament. I'll have to get out there. My swing's probably a little rusty through the winter, but we'll get back. This game has been really interesting. I'm really interested. I have some questions for Tucker about some punt return and stuff, so I'm excited to get into it.
Oh, boy. There we go.
So, Tucker, can we get a quick 1,000 foot tour of the Taj Holloway here?
Yeah, let's do it real quick. Yeah, man, this is our little dining room right here. This is my dad right here, Brody Holloway, the man. Heck yeah. Moses, come say what's up, man. So yeah, this is the living room. We got the game on, obviously. This the house right here. So this is home here in Andrews, North Carolina. Sitting by the nice fire.
Man. Yeah, you got a nice setup. Really appreciate you joining us today. So obviously it seems like they have cleaned up the special teams here after a crazy Sugar Bowl. Crazy Sugar Bowl and crazy Rose Bowl. Sam, why don't you jump into some questions you have about punt returns?
Well, yeah, so if you watch the Rose Bowl, I assume you watched the Rose Bowl.
I did, yes.
Michigan had some issues with punt return. They even had two guys back there. Number 82, so I forget his name. Then they put in a backup wide receiver who tried to catch it, fumbled at the one. As a punt returner, can you take us through your mental checklist, your mental process of that ball kicked, that ball's in the air? What are you thinking in order to say I need to field this ball safely?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man, I did watch that game. It was rough. I had a few people text me and my dad when those punts were muffed. But yeah, I think, well, I will say for the bowl game, that checklist changed a lot, just because of all the rain. But on a normal night, obviously the first thing in my mind is just get the ball back to the offense. That's the number one goal. So we got to end with the ball at the end of a punt return. That's the number one goal. So just make sure I'm ready to go, feeling good, make sure my gloves are good and dry and sticky. But once I get out there, like, obviously I want to make a play. The goal is to bring a spark and make an explosive play. But at the same time, I preach to myself, like, just me and the ball, and just make sure that I focus on getting the ball. Because at the end of the day, at the end of the play, that's what matters the most. Make sure we end up with the ball. And I think we got a pretty potent offense, and we're starting to roll. So, yeah, that's the main thing. Just making sure we end with the ball, and then everything else will come. Everything else comes to me. I just let it come to me as the coverage comes down the field.
So, question for you, and I know this is I'm taking a pryism here. He says,
okay,
ignore the noise. And you guys did a great job this year ignoring the noise. But Courtney, our friend Courtney Adams-Yetzi, she asks, and I'm going to reframe the question a little bit. It's January 8th. Like, there's still 2023 football on. You guys have a lot of hype going into this next season. We interviewed Kyron Jones yesterday. He said this fan base is starving for success just as much as you guys are starving for success. So, as someone who's been around the program and as a leader of this program, how do you plan over this spring, over this summer, over this fall to keep everybody focused on just improving day to day and not listening to everybody telling you how good you are?
Yeah, for sure. That's something Coach Prod does a good job of. He always, like you said, he says ignore the noise. And he says, he preaches ignore it when it's good and ignore it when it's bad. And I think that's a big thing to just be able to control. We can't really control what the media says or what people are saying, predictions for the season, especially when, our season's over for this year. We got a lot of work to do, and we know that. And so just being able. We also preach just like we love and we're so thankful for Hokie Nation, but what we do inside that facility on a day-to-day basis, that's what is gonna produce results on the field in Lane Stadium come September or whenever we get to play. So we know, all the guys know that we got a long off season of training, but I think ending the season the way we did, we got to be careful and make sure that we don't listen to the noise, but also that we use that momentum to go into winter workouts and winter conditioning, and then spring ball, and then summer, stuff, and then in a fall camp, obviously. So I think, we've got a pretty mature team. Coach Fry preaches that all the time, just making sure that we're putting mature guys on the field, and mature guys is what we recruit and what we're building. And so just kind of coming into my own role as an older dude now, which is kind of crazy to say, just making sure that we stay focused on the task at hand, which is just, one day at a time. We know what we got ahead of us. So just getting better.
Tucker, a quick follow-up, and thanks for joining us, man. It's awesome.
Yes, sir.
Talking to you.
Sir, of course.
How much is, and I'll tie it back into punt returning, which is one of the most fascinating things for me in watching, with people barreling towards you, having the peace of mind to catch the ball, make a play. And probably the best compliment I can possibly give is when I watch you out on the field, the aggressiveness, like being able to make plays with a guy that's 5 yards going full speed towards you and making a quick miss and then still putting something out there. How much does the coaching staff try to rein in the dog in all of you during when you got the energy going versus kind of unleash it? Because it's that cost benefit that you were just talking about in terms of, you got to make sure that there's, you secure the ball, you get it back to the offense, but you want to change the momentum of the game too.
Yeah, for sure. I think starting off just on the punt return side of things, for that, I know that, Coach Stu Holt, he does a great job of making sure that I know from him that I have the green light. It's my decision when I'm out there. And at the end of the day, like, decisions like that and deciding whether I'm going to be super aggressive or, just make sure that I'm catching the ball, like, that goes back to practice and just to preparation. They do a great job. Like, Beamer ball is real at Virginia Tech right now. Coach Prime emphasizes it every day, and Coach Holt does a great job. The things that you're seeing on the field, and we finished like top 1, top 2, top 3, top 2, like in every position, special teams category this year in the ACC. Like, the stuff you're seeing on the field, we practice that every single day in practice. And so, just being aggressive, that comes with being prepared in games and just knowing who I've got blocking for me, who I've got. I always trust the dudes who are blocking for me. But then, I got the green light, and that comes with, coaches trusting. But at the end of the day, like, I'm the dude back there returning the punts. They can't be out there with me, and I've got the green light. They trust me to make the right decision. And obviously, always, I want to bring a spark. And so every single time I get the opportunity to touch the ball, I'm looking to, make a play and bring a little juice to whether we're already rolling or we need something. I think, there's just a level of trust there. And that goes in all phases of the game, whether it's special teams, offense, defense. Like, the coaches preach, we're the ones out there playing the game. They can't be out there. And so just putting, like I said, dudes on the field who are mature and who know how to make those decisions.
Needs to go all the way to the Wi-Fi store. There he is.
I don't know. While he's getting it back, Washington's kind of starting to implode here.
A little bit.
Pressure's getting to the offensive line. Penix has some happy feet. There's Tucker.
Oops. There we go.
Tucker, I got to ask you. So you're nice, you're dry, and you're warm in your house now. But talk to me a little bit about the bowl trip. Not the game, but some of the cool festivities that you guys did. Annapolis is a great spot. How was that trip overall for you guys?
Yeah, it was awesome. The whole going in, finishing the UVA game, like team meetings after that and everything. Coach Pry told us, he was like, hey, like, we're going to have fun. Like, we got to be able to have fun and then lock in when it's time to lock in and practice and meet and do all those things. But he promised us we're going to have a lot of fun. And so we didn't stay in Annapolis. We stayed in DC, which was actually really cool because I know even for me and I know a lot of my teammates, like I've been through DC several times, but I've never actually like gone to all the historic sites and seen everything. So, we did a lot of fun stuff, but being able to see all the historic sites, go on those tours, and then, we went to the Spy Museum. I think everybody saw that. We went bowling, and then even more than that's tough. That's tough. That's not a throw you see him miss very many times.
That would have been a game-changing play.
Yeah, that'd have been a game-changing play too. Wow. That's crazy.
You went bowling. You checked out some spy museums.
Yeah, man, we did. We had a good time, and I think a big part of that was like, we're pretty much living in one big house, so that was fun. Just hanging out in the hotel. Like going out and doing whatever was fun, but just like seeing everybody in the halls, like we're pretty much just living in a house. It's one big sleepover, like a big, AAU or 7-on-7 tournament, something like that. So, it was fun. It was really enjoyable, and but it was cool because at the end of the week, you could tell like we were ready to play the game. Everybody wanted to play. So yeah.
I got one last one. This year and last year, there was this murmur, there was this whisper, and it was like, hold on a second. Can Virginia Tech win on the road? Like, people were talking about, are they waking up at the right time? Are they eating food at the right time? So, walk me through. I'm assuming nothing changed, obviously. First year, had trouble winning any games. Second year, you go to Boston College, have one of the best performances of the year. But we did hear in the post game that they maybe woke you up a little bit earlier. They changed stuff up. So what exactly happened on that Boston College weekend, and how did you guys really hone in? Because a bowl trip is 10 times more difficult than just your typical road game. So how did you guys really change that?
I think the only time they really changed anything was that Boston College game, because after that, it was just like I don't know. There was just something about it. It was like, that's all we needed. We need that spark, and then we were good to go. But yeah, they did wake us up like stupid early. The Boston College game. I mean, I think our wake up call was like, I don't know what time, but let's just say it was like 9:30. I remember like I woke up before they even got to our door, but they're just like yelling down the hall and beating on doors until everybody opened their door. So yeah, it was awesome. It was just a way to get everybody up and get the juices flowing. And then as soon as we got downstairs, like there's always music playing, but the coaches were like, I mean, they were on one that morning. And so obviously I think it worked. We all came out, we was ready to play, but after that, I don't know. I wouldn't say we didn't need it, but from then on, I felt like we were pretty locked in the whole year. And obviously, like the UVA game, I think we could have played that game anywhere, anytime. We were ready to go. But yeah, bowl game was kind of weird because, like I said, we stayed in DC, so we had a little drive to get to the bowl site in Annapolis. But it was really cool because you could see. And it wasn't something that the coaches had to preach like, hey, it's time to lock in. We're playing this game. Like every single person on that bus and in that locker room, like we were so ready to play. We had a good time, obviously, and we had a lot of fun in DC that week. But we were very ready to play that game. Anybody you asked, like we'd just be hanging out in the hotel and just talk about like, dude, like we're so ready to play this game. And so we felt prepared, and that the morning of everybody was ready.
There's one more that came in from the chat that I want to address. I have been fighting the fight. Another murmur, another thing that drives me a little crazy. I don't know who started this movement. There has been an anti-number 25 movement that has kind of ridden across the fan base. Why do we do it? It's tacky. I don't like it. I want to ask you. You have worn the number 25 twice. What does it mean for you guys to get that honor every single week?
Yeah, no, man, it means a lot. It really does. And, the week I wore it, Coach Beamer, he actually was there for the team meeting when they announced that I was wearing it for the UVA game. And so, I actually love that comment that you just put in there, because we love the fans, but it's not for the fans. It's to, number one, honor the legacy of great and elite special teams at Virginia Tech. And what 25 means is not just it's not just a number that symbolizes some thing in the past. It's like what we live and breathe today. And so elite special teams, that's not something that that is like a Coach Beamer thing. That's something that we want to carry on. And so a big part of the way we do that is that number 25. So fans saying that, hey, we're being very elite in special teams right now, and Coach Holt's doing a great job of that. Coach Pride's doing a great job of emphasizing it. So I don't know who's saying that, but 25 is it means a lot, I know, to our guys and to the coaching staff, especially Coach Pride being a Beamer guy and wanting to carry that tradition. That was something that he emphasized early on, and it means a lot to our guys now. So that's it's an honor if you see the dudes that wear it, and when they announce that in the team meetings, it means something to each of those guys.
Hey, Tucker, as we see Washington here returning another punt, what I wanted to ask you is, there's something a little interesting about this game being played at an NFL stadium at NRG Stadium in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
The hash marks in college are different than the hash marks in the NFL. The hash marks in the NFL are a little narrower. But the number placement is also different in the NFL than it is in college. The numbers, they did not change for this game. So the yard lines, like the 40, 50, those numbers are in the NFL placement. Now, I played volleyball.
How do you know this? How do you know this?
I know these things. Right? I know these things. I played volleyball, and specifically libero. And I know in volleyball, you know where the out of bounds line is. The ball's coming at you lightning fast. And you got to know, if it's coming at me at this angle and I'm at this little spot, I know it's out, or I know I have to go get it, or I know my center back's got it or something. As a punt returner, do you have those field marks of like, okay, I feel like I see the pylon in my peripheral, I know I'm kind of at the end zone, or I see the 10-yard marker right here, I probably need to let it go. Do you notice those things?
Yeah, so our rule, I guess, kind of more specifically what you're talking about is kind of like a pooch punt situation. And so for us, if we get, if across midfield or the opposing team gets across midfield, then we start to kind of get more to that pooch punt kind of mindset. Our rule is stand on the 8-yard line and don't take a single step back. So that makes it easy. It's easy to make decisions. Being a punt returner, there's a million things trying to run through your mind at one time. And so it makes it easy. Just stand on the 8-yard line. Don't run, don't take a single step back. If it's over your head, bluff it to the opposite direction. But yeah, just being aware of where you're at. The only one that changed for that, I remember, I don't know if y'all remember, but the end of the Louisville game, we had they were punting with like a minute and something left. And I was standing on like the 5-yard line, which was already against the rules. And then I told myself, I'm returning it no matter what. Like, I do not care. Like, there's no reason not to return this punt. I caught the ball on 3 yards into the end zone. But obviously I wanted to be, aggressive in that situation. I brought it out. It ended up being fine. I was hoping to break one maybe, but in a normal game, you never do that in any other situation, but just being aware of where you're at on the field and making sure that we make good decisions. We preach that, good decisions. It's the ball is a program. So
question for you. And I know you're one of, obviously we talked about your grounding on one of our podcasts, obviously one with the earth. very into your health and whatnot. So I have embarked on a 72-hour fast. As you can tell, I'm stumbling over my words because my brain function is starting to repeal a little bit. Any words of wisdom for that for the last 30-ish hours? All I've had is water and Himalayan salt. And I'm also curious, have you ever done any of those, any weird trials or tribulations of that way before?
Yeah.
You see how hard that sentence was? That's no carbs. That's no calories. That's the problem.
Yeah, you need a big old ribeye steak or something for sure. Dude, I most definitely have never done anything like that. I've not fasted in that sense from anything. I've taken periods of time where I like fasted from social media or something like that, but never food, especially me being a slimmer dude trying to play Division I football. My whole childhood and growing up was a fight to just put on weight because I wanted to play college football when I got older. So, dude, I'm not sure because I don't really have any experience there, and I don't know that I have any advice for you because I'm not sure that I will ever do that in my time being an adult whenever I get done playing football. I don't know. I'm not sure that I could do it. I love a good burger way too much. 72 hours is a long time, but more power to you. Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know that I have nothing for you there. The grounding.
Look, I've been overeating for 28 years of my life, so I assume that undereating for 72 hours wouldn't hurt too bad.
No, I got faith for sure.
You'll probably balance out. Right. 28 years. 72 hours.
Yeah, there you go.
We got about a minute and a half of game time left here, Tucker. One of the I mentioned your outdoorliness. Can we all agree that there has not been a better conference commercial that exists than the Big Ten conference commercial? Like that is an elite commercial. The flyover, the cartoons, the music. I remember 2 years ago when it came out, I was like pulling up Shazam during the commercial. I was like, what song is this? It's called Silver Lining. Great song. Y'all should check it out. Fantastic commercial. Are they going to keep that format and then have the plane fly from like Piscataway? They're going to do all the East Coast schools and they're going to go, by the way, we also have Cal and we also have USC and we also have Oregon. I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm going to miss that commercial for sure.
Yeah. I've wondered the same thing. It's a pretty legendary commercial and everybody likes it. But I've wondered about that as well. Just what they're going to do. I don't know though. It's a great question. I'm also not sure how I feel about flying to California to play every year. That's going to be pretty wild, but I'm excited about the opportunity.
The Hokies are traveling quite a bit here coming up this year. I think we're going to make Pat Finn and I we did work for tech startups, so have the opportunity to bounce back over to the Silicon Valley. Head over, check out Twilio again, check out Salesforce again, go wave at the towers. But no, we're going to try to make that trip out to Stanford. We're going to need to get some more points on the Chase business card to potentially make that happen. Because it's not an easy trip, but we're looking forward to figuring it out. Any other questions at the buzzer, Sam or Robbie, before we move over to Kyle and Dwight?
Yeah, I got one just related to the game. Is as we're not at halftime, there's 7 minutes or so left in this game, but obviously things are not going great right now for Washington. What are some of the things that you guys are doing? And first of all, I'm always hoping the Hokies are up going into halftime, but in the unfortunate situation that they're not, and you're getting a little bit beat around, there's only so many kind of coach speeches that you can kind of give to get people pumped up. But what for you guys, how do you reset, kind of reorganize what you're going to do, stay focused on the task? Do you try and change a lot? Is it a lot like or do you go back and say, listen, we had the right game plan? Is it contingent on the situation? What's the thought process for a team like Washington right now?
Yeah. I think, depending on who you're playing, team to team, that kind of can change because, for instance, like I know our Tulane game plan, we kind of didn't know going in who they were going to have, what they were going to throw at us just with the coaching change and everything like that. But I know that at halftime we had to make some more adjustments than usual just because of they had thrown some different schemes at us up front. I remember hearing that in the locker room. But you know, you rarely ever get a real like fiery, you know, we better get something about us type speech unless, you know, we're playing soft, which we've had that once or twice. Coach Pride does a great job of making sure that we know what type of ball we're trying to go play. But usually, yeah, halftime is where you make your adjustments, you know, and Washington's going to have to do that for sure. But, you know, really depending on what the game's looking like, making adjustments, you know, it could be even just like we've seen Washington, some misplays. It can be just encouragement. That's where your leaders kind of come in and make sure that everybody's on the same page and that the juice is still flowing and that everybody's staying encouraged. And then, you know, the second half of the time that you're in there is just actual like schematic. Hey, we're looking to run this. We need to make these changes. We're on the whiteboard, like writing stuff in. So, but yeah, it's just a mixture of, all right, what changes do we need to make? What corrections do we need to make? Let's make those. And then also just like the leaders, the captains, making sure everybody's staying encouraged, making sure everybody's ready to go for the second half and, you know, get things done.
Tucker, really, really appreciate your time. We'll get you back on the podcast here soon. And at the buzzer, final words. Pat Finn wants to know, celebrity crush?
Oh, man.
Don't overthink it.
Yeah, I'm not going to overthink it. All growing up, my celebrity crush was Zendaya. Sol Rock was Zendaya. I know in high school, I went to like a private boarding school, and my roommate
was Zendaya.
Yeah, no. No, but he bought me a Zendaya poster and put it in my room one day, and like I came in and there was just Zendaya looking at me. So I definitely had to take that down very fast. But but no, all growing up it was Zendaya, so I'm gonna definitely rock with Zendaya. Celebrity crush, I'll stick with Zendaya. Can't go wrong there.
A gentleman and a scholar, Tucker Holloway. You enjoy the rest of the game from your luxurious hideaway in wherever
right.
that is. The Holloway hideaway. Yeah,
there we go. Come on now.
I need a steak.
Yeah, you need a big old
Taj Mahal.
The Taj Mahal. That's right.
Take care, Tucker. Appreciate you.
Thank you.